Hey guys, it's Carmela with Equine Helper, and today I wanted to show you how I put a saddle on a horse for the first time. This is a horse that has never had a saddle on before. And before we get started, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel for more weekly horse videos. So the little paint pony that I have here in this project, her name is Rose. She is my friend's pony that I've been working with. She's about 2.5 years old, a little smaller than Tucker, so probably like 12'3". She's awesome. She's super chill. So I just wanted to show you guys, this is her first time having anything on her back at all, and she did amazing. So I'm just gonna walk you through the steps I took to safely get the saddle on her back and not have a freak out. Alright, so in the beginning, you can see that we're in the round pen just doing some groundwork. I start out by doing this when I work with any horse, basically. It's just a way to get them focusing on what I'm asking them to do, and also just getting them paying attention, respecting my personal space. As you can see here, I'm getting her to move her butt away from me, move her front end away from me. And so just really making sure she respects my space, because if I go to put that saddle on her, you know, it's so easy for them to freak out and then not respect your space, and that's when you get run over or stepped on. Okay, and here I'm introducing the blanket to her. I've actually done this before and she was really good, so I'm just going to review with her. Horses learn by repetition, so that's why it's important just to do things over and over and over again. And I'm just kind of nonchalantly smacking her with the blanket, just seeing how comfortable she is with the feeling of that. I'm doing it to her hind legs. She had a problem with her legs being touched, so that's why I'm making sure that I do it now. And so with any horse, what you do to one side, you want to do the other. So here I've changed sides. Just making sure she's familiar with the blanket on both sides, because she did pretty good with this, but Tucker, he freaks out over everything. And in this clip, I'm just asking her to soften and lower her head. I just do that with all my horses to make sure they respect that pressure on their face. I'm just gonna desensitize some more. Basically, my idea is let me put the blanket anywhere on the horse just to get him comfortable. So once I feel like she's comfortable with the blanket touching her, I'm just gonna throw it on her back. And this is more for my sake. I wanna see how she reacts to having something on her back while she's walking around. As you can see, she could care less. This horse is so chill. And I asked her owner, I'm like, has she had anything on her back? And he said she never had. So she was unbelievably well behaved for this. I think she'll be very easy to train. So I put it on her butt. I do this with all my horses. My goal is to get the blanket to fall off and see how they react. Some horses will freak out, some horses don't care. See, it fell off, she stepped on it, she doesn't care at all. Alright, so now I'm introducing the saddle. She's a little unsure of it, so I'm just gonna make sure I rub it all over her body. I'm taking the stirrup and tapping her on the side with it, because that's where I notice a lot of horses really freak out in the beginning. I just want to make sure she's good with that feeling. And as you can see, I put the saddle on her back. You know, it just goes with the motion. It's nothing new, it's nothing out of the ordinary. I just put it on her back and I work up to that, and it's all in kind of the motion of the desensitizing. So there I'm using the stirrup again, making sure she's comfortable with it. Now I go to the other side. What you do the one side, you want to do the other. She's being so good, she could care less. So another thing you notice, I put it on and then I take it off of her. That's just because I want her to know, you know, her standing well, if it gets put on her, is good. So as soon as I put it on and I see a good reaction, I take it off and let her breathe for a moment. And here I am just doing some more groundwork. You know, she's young, she's only 2.5 years old, so I just want to get her back focused, because I think at this point she lost interest in what we were doing. But this whole session was only about 30 minutes. I think with any young horse, you don't want to overwhelm them, so I try to keep these sessions short and not put any pressure on the horse, or, you know, work the heck out of them to the point where they don't think it's fun anymore to be around humans. Okay, I'm gonna work with the girth. That's another thing. I noticed that a lot of horses freak out about the girth in the beginning, so I just want to make sure she's comfortable with it. Waving at her side, hitting her in the front legs, touching her belly. Now I'm gonna pull it over. With Tucker, he was very nervous about the stirrups when I first put them on the saddle. I used an English saddle the whole time for training Tucker, so the Western saddle is a different feel, and I think, you know, the stirrups and the saddle go together well, so it may not feel as weird, but when I put the stirrups on the English saddle, it took him a good while to get over it. And one thing I noticed is if I would let the stirrup down on one side and I was standing on the other, he would freak out and run into me. If you can notice here, I put the stirrup up on the opposite side I'm standing on, just because in case the horse does freak out about that feeling, I don't want to get run over. Alright, here I'm just working on tightening the girth. What I'm doing is, once again, just getting her used to that feeling of the girth on her stomach. And then when I tighten it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten it and if she stands well, I'm just gonna tighten it and then release the pressure, just so she gets a feeling. I've heard, you know, just tighten the girth and then let the horse go and let them figure it out, and they're gonna buck for a while, but then they'll get over it. Well, I did this with Tucker. So I put the saddle on Tucker, tightened the girth right up to the top hole, let him off. He went crazy. So then the second time I went to put the saddle on him, he knew what was coming. And so he was very, well, just bad in general about getting the girth on him. And so after that, I'm like, I need to find a better way to teach the horse about the pressure of the girth. So with Rose, what I did is I just tightened it up a little way, and then I would release it, and then I'd tighten it up a little way tighter and release it, as long as she's standing good. And so that way I'm just teaching, like, it's good to just stand to have the girth tightened. Okay, so here we go. I'm trying to just encourage her to walk with the saddle on her back. As you can tell, she looks a little uncomfortable. Any horse kind of looks like this in the beginning. Just getting used to the feeling of it. She was great. She didn't buck. She didn't offer to do anything bad. So one thing I learned, once again from Tucker, is when it comes to letting your horse be comfortable with the saddle on, what I would do with him is we'd just go in the round pen and I'd kind of just let him run around the outside until he felt comfortable with whatever was going on. You know, you can tell because they'll be galloping around wide-eyed, and by the time they're comfortable, they're just kind of trotting and relaxed, and then I'd call them into the middle. So you're kind of letting the horse figure it out at their own pace. You know, like when I put the stirrups on the saddle, I put him on the saddle and then I just let him go around the round pen until he calmed down a bit and felt comfortable, and then he came back in. That way the horse figures it out themselves. When you add something new to a horse, it can be very stressful for them, and so you're not rushing them to do anything else besides let them figure out what's going on. Once again, I changed directions there, let her get used to the feeling of the saddle both ways. As you can notice, the stirrups are up. My idea is I don't want to overwhelm her, so that's why I put the stirrups up, but it doesn't seem like she really cares. Out of all my horses, this was by far the easiest one I've dealt with getting the saddle on. So now I'm just getting her to trot. I'm kind of challenging her, but I kind of want to see how she's going to react to this. She did awesome. She's a great horse. Time to untack. I'm just kind of being gentle still with the saddle. I don't want to surprise her or anything, but yeah, she did awesome. I hope this video helped you guys, and if you're looking to start a horse or anything, I hope that I was able to provide some good information. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel for more weekly horse videos, and also check out our website, equinehelper.com.